back in for, unfortunately, one that we got wrong. That was Notre Dame at Miami, Catholics versus the Convicts. Boy, did this game not disappoint. I think this was the best game, not only because of how close the scoreline was, but because of the just massive highlights. We have the number one play of the week coming from this game. Again, we'll stay tuned for that till the end of the stream when we put that up here on the screen for you. But yeah, my big question, are the Hurricanes going to be able to play 4 quarters with the Irish? And boy, were they able to. Offensive line, very, very impressed. I know we have them in our top 25, but man, they were really bullying Notre Dame's defensive line. That was kind of the weakness. They did lose a lot of guys. In the stream yesterday, I was talking about how, Notre Dame doesn't have Howard-Cross the third. They're in between the tackle positions. And then Mills as well. Those guys have moved on. It kind of showed. Miami had 127 yards rushing. But it really didn't get going until their new transfer running back from North Dakota, Mar Brown, came in and started to get heavier touches. Jordan Lyle got hurt, and that kind of opened up the opportunity for Brown, who I think was kind of the difference maker in a lot of the drives that ended up scoring for Miami. He just got a guy that Notre Dame could not tackle or bring down. There's quite a few plays where the whistle was blown and he was still standing on his feet, holding up multiple Notre Dame defenders that, again, could not bring him to the ground. One disappointing, but it shouldn't really be a disappointing factor in this one. You guys, CJ Carr, his first start, had not the best start. To be quite honest with you, I thought he was going to be a little bit closer to Sam Hartman, but it actually looks like he might be closer to Riley Leonard, at least in what I was looking at from like the film and from the scouting reports that I've seen from him in the past. They were, he's able to like spread the ball around. For the first half of this game, which was the approach of overthrowing the ball, I think what the offensive coordinator for Notre Dame was trying to do, Ded Brock, who comes into his second season as the OC, just could not get anything going through the air. We had quite a few 3-and-out drives to start off the game. There was a fumble which didn't end up being points because of a mishap snap for the special teams of the Hurricanes. Kind of got lucky there that ended up getting on the scoreboard, because and then the field goal attempt that Notre Dame was trying to get to tie the game wouldn't have been a thing. They would have to get, march down the field and get a touchdown. But yeah, I don't think the approach was right. Not enough balls down the field, not enough trying to take some chances because it was just all short stuff. But maybe that was just CJ Carr trying to get comfortable, trying to get in some kind of rhythm. He's only a freshman, redshirt freshman. I guess you couldn't expect much more out of them. He definitely lit it up towards the end of the game. He ended up with 221 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, got an interception where it was another. I think, again, I personally don't like passes that are behind the line of scrimmage or into the flats. Sometimes it could be risky. One of those risks that Notre Dame took ended up being that interception where the ball bobbled up, actually went off of Miami defender's foot, and then ended up in, I think it was one of the defensive lineman, Baines Jr.'s hands. And that was kind of, unfortunately, like, not the tipping point. Was like, oh, okay, Notre Dame probably isn't going to win this, as they were mounting some kind of comeback there in the second half, as they were down, 14-7. They scored right before halftime with that amazing, again, catch that will show in the top 10 plays. And that was kind of the big thing. Carson Beck finally got to play against that Notre Dame secondary, and he maybe would have been the difference if he was healthy after that SEC championship game. And on top of that, I think he would have maybe been the difference in getting Georgia over the hump in that playoff game against Notre Dame last year. It just seemed like at the end of the season, everything was falling apart. There were so many drops, so much negativity. His post-game interview, he got a little emotional talking about the last 8 months This guy kind of being in that spotlight. He has the comparisons, the memes that go and kind of pokes at him. And you're at that age, you're most likely on social media. I'm not trying to make it play a little violin right now, but for some of these guys, yeah, it's quite a lot of pressure. But he rose so well. I think his stock this upcoming draft season is going to rise with this performance. Hopefully he can be consistent. He doesn't need to be anything crazy. Cam Ward just balled out, did the best he could, didn't get over the hump in some of those games. He just, again, needs to put up some decent stats and show maturity, show that leadership that hopefully the Hurricanes can get for the rest of the season. He had 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, 20 for 31, took some risks, and some of those risks paid off. That amazing, again, throw to CJ Daniels for that touchdown, who was very impactful in this game. He had 5 receptions for 46 yards. Again, that massive one-handed catch. But the big guy through the air that I did not know a lot about when that was Malachi Toney, a true freshman out of American heritage, had 6 receptions for 82 yards. Man, he was just a problem for my Notre Dame in that secondary. And I think maybe because of the lack of film, lack of knowledge on the young man is kind of the reason why Notre Dame got pretty exposed. They had back-to-back route runs, which we showed on that stream, of him cutting, I don't know what kind of route you want to call it, but just redirected it, went out wide into the deeper parts of the flats, and then got open, and then it was a speed race. Can you catch me? No, you're gonna have to force me out of bounds to end this play. And he did that twice to help Miami move the ball down the field for some touchdown drives. And then again, going back to my kind of gripe for the approach, I was talking about how can Miami front six manage the Irish running game, and they did an excellent job, and they really impressed me. Torre, who's a transfer in from Rutgers, he was laying some big hits on the running backs of Notre Dame, or just really anyone that got the ball in their hands. He was just a nice headhunter in a way. And yeah, they did not allow Notre Dame to run through them. Only 94 yards on the ground. Jadarian Price was the leading rusher, which was kind of surprising. 6 carries for 45 yards. Jeremiah Love got 10 touches for 33. Kind of a similar game that he had, if I'm not mistaken, against Penn State, where he didn't have that many yards rushing. And yeah, that kind of showed. I mean, he had some decent highlights. He was basically hurdling Miami defenders in some of those runs. Some of it paid off, some of it didn't. I think he got flipped over, landed a little awkwardly, but he was all right. But I thought he would have been a bigger difference maker going into the season. He's touted as the best running back in college football. Did not see that last night, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, that was kind of the reason why Miami won this game, is that they shut down the run game. They didn't allow Notre Dame to kind of lean into what I think they should be doing a little bit more. But it was those second half adjustments, trying to find ways to get Jeremiah Love the ball in different scenarios. He also ended up getting 4 catches for 26 yards. Those catches were kind of the bigger ones later down that helped move the ball down the field. And another thing I didn't see a lot of was enough play action, or at least running the ball enough to be able to be effective with play action calls. That was kind of the thing I was disappointed with, and hopefully it changes. Hopefully they can adjust. They have a tough stretch of games. I believe they have a bye this upcoming weekend, and then they play Texas A&M, and then they're on the road in Fayetteville against Arkansas, and then they have Boise the week after that at home for, I think, their first home game of the season. That's kind of pretty far deep into the year for Notre Dame to finally have a home game, which is kind of interesting. Regardless, that is a scoreline, 27-24. I predicted Notre Dame to win by 17. I thought this game was going to be something that got out of hand, but apparently tradition holds. Notre Dame, when they go down to Miami, they just struggle and are not able to handle the convicts. The Catholics were just not good enough Sunday night. Again, coming up short, 27-24. One of the games, unfortunately, that we missed there. And again, that amazing catch, all the momentum, the crowd behind him, that is kind of what this Miami team needs. It's going to be interesting to see them in moments during this season on the road in other ACC teams, stadiums. How do they react? Are they going to not have that crowd behind them? Is that what they need to be able to go up against teams that are on paper better than them? And then obviously teams that they're obviously better than, are they going to come short in their ACC schedule? We'll have to wait and see. That's one thing I'm paying attention to here for them in 2025 as we zoom out.